A popular bipartisan approach to preventing fraud and protecting taxpayer dollars is back again this session. Senator Heather Gustafson joins me to explain why Minnesota still needs an independent Office of Inspector General and why this is the year the bill will finally cross the finish line. Senator, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, as a refresher, you introduced the idea of the Office of the Inspector General last session, and it's back again this session. So let's remind people why we want to do that, what the office would do, what happens here?
Yeah, so it's an independent oversight authority that makes sure that all of our tax dollars are going where they're supposed to. So any public or private entity that receives public dollars, the OIG office, the Office of Inspector General office, would be able to have jurisdiction over that. And the idea is that it's that independent oversight, the ability to track patterns in agencies, to make sure that vendors and recipients are operating accordingly, and just another set of hands to make sure that our dollars are being spent properly.
Seems like a very timely bill. Yeah. And last session it was embraced by the full Senate. Why do you think that was?
Yeah, we had almost the whole Senate, but it was an impressive vote, especially in a polarized chamber. We got 60 votes, which is pretty good, especially on an issue as important as this. I think we were able to do it because we brought in lots of different voices from the beginning. So I'm the chief author, and I can decide who I want as co-authors. And I made sure to bring in Republicans, and then not just bring them in to add them to the bill, but also work with them closely to determine what would make the bill stronger. Ultimately, it's my bill, and I decide what goes on it. But it was nice to have that early support, and then you see the result is that we got 60 votes in the Senate.
You mentioned different voices. One of those voices is the governor, and he has introduced his idea, the Office of the Inspector General Coordinated Council. Does that replace the need for your OIG, or how are they different?
Yeah, absolutely not. I think it was a good move to do in the interim. We weren't in session. There wasn't any legislation that you could move forward while we're not in session. But going forward, we're not looking for coordination. We're looking for oversight. And while I applaud anybody's idea to come forward and try to prevent fraud from happening or spreading, I do believe that we have the strongest position.
Senator, you mentioned you applaud any idea, and you've talked about how your bill had bipartisan support, and I know how important that has been to you. You've even said, quote, oversight should never be partisan. Your bill is just one of several aimed at combating fraud this session. Senate Republicans have their own package on how to do that, but that doesn't have a lot of bipartisan support yet. Do you expect there to be more bipartisan efforts to fight fraud this session?
Yeah, so in my first term, I've spent almost all of the years working on fraud prevention. They have not brought me any language yet. I've not seen a bill. So I would be happy to meet with any of them to look over their language and sign on if I thought it was the right policy. But I unfortunately haven't seen anything yet. So the session is new. We've got a lot of time. Hopefully some of those will make their way to my desk. But in the meantime, we have our fraud package in the Senate DFL, and I hope Minnesota's takeaway is that everybody is taking this seriously. This has been one of my top priorities for a long time, but now you see that all of us are working together, hopefully in a manner that will get a handle on what's been happening.
I also want to say about the bipartisan work with your bill. Watching you and Senator Kroon work together and do press events together was almost magical. I just loved seeing that relationship and that camaraderie. Yeah. It was a really nice moment.
Yeah, I think that's kind of, a lot of politicians will say that, right? I just want to work across the aisle and get the work done. And then you just very rarely see it. If you're somebody who was never in political circles like myself, I feel like 5 minutes ago, I was a high school teacher and a softball mom. So this is new, but I genuinely meant it. And I think there are people across the aisle who mean it too. So you just have to find folks that are willing to kind of put their ego aside and just work with you on a bill. But it was one of my favorite bills to pass in the sense that it was kind of what I had envisioned I would be able to do when I came to the Senate. It's work across the aisle, work on tough issues, solve big problems. So I do appreciate that I had that experience.
And you were successful in the Senate.
Yeah.
But when we talk about the House, we're getting into another area. And I know you can't speak for them, but it failed in the House last session. And so far this session, it hasn't advanced in committee in the House. You don't speak for the other body, but what are the concerns or the holdup there?
I think, with the split House, things can be tricky. Everybody can see that. Everybody can feel that. And so there's just a little bit of a trust issue, and you're sort of seeing that bubble over into policy and lawmaking. So we're going to work within the parameters that we have. It's a tied House. So, of course, I would always encourage bipartisanship, and I highly recommend taking the approach we did in the Senate. I'm in the majority. I don't need to invite somebody from the minority party to my bill to pass it. However, I wanted to, and I think it's that sort of a spirit that would help in the House. But I think they'll get there. I mean, we're seeing a lot of how the sausage is made moments right now, and it is a little bit messy. It can be contentious, but the process is moving, and it's moving through. And I do have hope that the House will be able to pass this.
You mentioned the process. So where does your bill stand now?
Yeah, so because it was introduced in the first year of the biennium, our bill is alive and it sits in the House. So we don't need to pass it again in the Senate. We did our job. We led on the issue, and it's over in the House now, and it's really up to them to decide what to do with it.
All right, well, given the atmosphere that we're in right now, what do you think the chances are of your bill making it across the governor's desk this session?
I think it's better this year than it was last year. Last year, we hit some sort of unexpected roadblocks that we just didn't anticipate. We thought, we had bicameral, bipartisan meetings every week. And so I think we thought that was sort of a recipe for success in both chambers. But like you said, I can only really work on the chamber that I represent. So in the Senate, again, we did our part, passed it over to the House, and it didn't make it. But this year feels a lot different. There's been a shift. I do have faith that this will get across the finish line.
All right, well, Senator, I look forward to seeing how that progresses. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, I appreciate it.